Hello, I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to Finextra TV. Today we're in The Hague for the Temenos Community Forum 2019, the theme of which is Digital Banking Reloaded. Joining me now in the studio is Santosh Thomas, President of Growth Markets for Cognizant. Hello Santosh, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
good to be here.
I'm going to start off with your outlook for the industry. Can you tell me, what does it say for you?
Yeah, it's a time of tremendous transformation, right? So when I look at a time period out there, I mean, I like to look at three sort of things that we believe, right? And we're taking bets on that this is where it would go, right? Number one is the banks have to become more customer centric, right? It's like stating the obvious, but the time when you could experiment with it is gone, right? Clearly, as I just talked about, a great example that I use is retailers, right? And retailers, forever, the focus of retailer has been the point of sale. As long as the point of sale was good, the retailer did well, right? But all of these new technologies that come into play today have disrupted that value chain, where there are new players in between the retailer and the consumer. And these new players are breaking the relationship between the consumer and the retailer. Two, they're redefining how they think and what they do. And just that piece has led to the retail industry coming under enormous stress, right? And when I look at banking, it's a very similar world, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to connect with your clients, you've got to understand what they need, you've got to anticipate what they will need, and you've got to serve those needs. And the times have changed, right? There's a new generation of people out there who really don't want to visit a bank, right? The concept of going to a bank as a point of sale is quite archaic for a Gen Y, a Gen Z, right? So you really have to move from a point of sale or a branch to truly a point of experience. And what would you do to create a point of experience in financial services while maintaining the security and the stability of the money and the assets that you're taking to manage, right? So the journey for banks to be more customer centric in their own unique ways will be a big transformation coming up. It's already in play. It will continue down as banks begin to redefine themselves around this point of experience, right?
All right, and what about digital banking platforms in particular? What's your outlook here?
Right. So if you look at digital banking platforms, I mean, it's an important part to almost enabling the first part, which is that how do you bring, so we tend to look at a point of experience and the fulfillment of that as just being a front-end system. But to truly be able to commit and deliver on that, on the commitment of the point of experience, your back-end systems, your middle office systems, your operational processes, all have to align to be able to deliver on that. To be able to deliver on that, you've got to look at these entire value and supply chains together and provide consistent transformation of all parts of this, which in many cases can be quite an expensive, arduous, time-consuming journey. And fundamentally, we're running out of time. And these platforms, which we are investing in today, where we're looking at specific processes and value chains that we believe that we can be good at, we invested together with partners like Temenos to create a foundational platform which brings all of this together that can enable our clients to be more customer-centric without having to worry too much about the other things. These platforms in a central place can be much more stable, they can be much more secure, because today security is a really important part of banking with all of the cybersecurity issues. And sometimes it's much easier to be able to secure an asset in its entirety rather than individual silos of this asset. So platforms is something that we truly believe that is the play for the future. These are very intensive decisions that have to be taken. They tend to be very capital intensive because these are investments into the future. And you get these wrong, you could really have to have a lot of pain that comes with it, right? So we make very strategic bets, make long-term commitments, look at 10-year investments that will bring in those returns, and then establish ourselves in platforms for those supply chains which we believe Cognizant can dominate.
All right, and I'd love to hear what Cognizant are doing in this space. What does the future hold for you?
So if you look at what we're doing today is, so we are engaging with our banks very differently, right? There was a time when we sold technology to the banks. Today we're truly selling business solutions. We're selling business outcomes. So that the discussions of the past where you would go in and talk about, do you want a software license or do you want the integration services that come with that, has changed to today saying that I really want an outcome, right? I understand this stuff is very complex. You guys are the experts. Come back to me with the solution and try not to expose me to this complexity. I got other things to solve for, right? So our capability to engage at all levels, right? Through platforms, through meeting the business, through meeting the technology, and tying this all together is what we call digital at scale, is really the new interface with our clients going into the future.
Wonderful. Well, some really exciting developments there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it's an amazing time to be in the technology area, right? I mean, it's a time when technology can truly solve some of the problems that were considered unsolvable 10 years back. And that's the opportunity for all of us.
Well, Santosh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you. Great to be here. Thank you for your time.
And thank you for watching.